Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. Would love some subscribers. I mentioned in some of my early videos, once a million subscribers, I will do a popular dance. Any case, you like or dislike the video, comment, leave a comment. Any questions or feedback? If I do read all comments, and if there are questions asked on them, I do try to respond to them to the best of my ability. But I do love feedback more than anything else. You can be feedback about the video itself, the content itself, or even the channel. In any case, today's little subject I was going to talk about is about gaming systems, specifically like the PS5 versus the Xbox versus the Nintendo Switch, etc. Basically, versus building your own customized things versus having a mobile phone. Honestly, nowadays, it's mobile phones are just becoming just as powerful as what was the old NES systems as well as Sega Genesis systems and such. Actually, I think the phones themselves, smartphones themselves now, the newer generations, are just as powerful as what the PS1 and Xbox One were, basically, or the first generation of Xbox was at the time. I think just as good, if not better. Um, Quite honestly, it's a question of should you be buying a PS5 or even for that matter any PlayStations or Xbox uh, uh, at that from that perspective. Um, Nowadays, it's a matter of just having a good video card more than anything else. I mean, honestly, if you're buying the PS5 and or Xbox, it's really you're just paying for the video card. And if that's the case, you might as well just build your own PC at that point or own gaming system, to be quite honest, with a good video card. If you can get an excellent video card, all the better. Um, the thing is like it's coming down to more instead of hardware, but a little bit more software than hardware. I mean, you can get around with things with software nowadays, with like with the hardware that's around, basically, specifically mobile and tablet devices, specifically working directly with those chips. Nowadays it's more of a case like if you want your game to be really really popular, it's better to build the content, of course. And I think there's a show on Apple TV called Mythic Quest, which shows exactly what exactly how not. I mean, it's loosely based on how a gaming system is created and such, or game is created and such, and you're building on top of it. I mean, it's a comedy, of course, a satirical comedy based on it, but it does give you some insights a little bit to it as well too. And to be honest, I've never been in the gaming industry. I would love to be in the gaming industry. I used to be wanting to get into the gaming industry, but it was a case where like I didn't know at that time. Um, there were so many different studios. Nowadays, it's just becoming more mainstream of like either Microsoft, Sony, or such basically. And if you want to become an independent one, then you create the small ones specifically built for your mobile phone or tablet for that matter. Um, the MM or OPGs and such. I mean, more often than not, you really want to be doing them on a your own gaming system, i.e., either a PC or a Mac. More often than not, it's going to be a PC, anyways, right? Um, the real question is, I mean, I know Steam was built specifically for like to be across multiple platforms. That would be great in that situation. But now, like, we got this new thing with AR, basically, or VR for that matter, with Meta going the VR world and creating games for that, with specifically with the Oculus and such. Microsoft and Sony were delving into that a little bit, but they're moving away from it. I think HTC is going into this as well too. I'm not entirely sure about this. This is my hearing per se of second hand or third hand about HTC entering the I know they're entering the VR market with the VR headsets, but I think they're trying to push out for the aspects of getting into that gaming world as well too. And honestly, I don't know if that's a great idea or not. If it works, perfect. But the thing is like you got to buy another peripheral at that point then too. But you see more and more people now just basically gaming, with their with their stations, game stations, sorry, or not PlayStations or Xbox, but more of their own game center, basically, like with their PCs, more than anything else. And of course, they're like putting it on Twitch and such. I think it's more of a case where I know, granted, yeah, the controllers are supposed to be really fine tuned and all that stuff, but then working on a mouse and keyboard is a little bit more finite and more detailed in when controlling and strafing and such. So uh, I think if I had a choice, if I were to go back, I'd do it again. I probably would stick to maybe, yeah, just creating a PC, basically building my own PC and building my own gaming system at that point. But more often to actually work not on a Windows platform, but on a Linux platform, open source Linux desktop with a great graphics card, of course. Um, Now, of course, you can get away without having graphics if you're looking more specifically for the actual content and playability of it, and that's something I think it's coming more mainstream now at this point as well too. Um, I'm not. I mean, I could give some examples, but I don't know if that's the right thing to do in this situation. I mean, this is a subject matter that is more broad and more expansive. Um, that it would lead into multiple series at this point. And honestly, you'll have people that are on Twitch and as well as YouTube when they're streaming their YouTube channels for specifically when they're playing games. They're streaming it out that point as well too. So I don't think it's a case for me just to discuss, to say which is the better. I would say that from my opinion, what I would choose versus what you should choose is a whole different story. I think you, the user or the individual or the gamer in this case, should explore all the options and see what best fits your need and what best fits what excites you more than anything else. From that, I would say, yeah, I think that's yeah. I'm not gonna jump into this subject as much. To be quite honest, I was surprised I actually jumped into it at all. I think what triggered this was basically I think I saw something about HTC and the VR headset that they were building out, and I was like, all right, they're pretty much copying what Oculus did. Of course, they were doing it before, and like I was like, all right, it's another company that's trying to getting into the gaming market more than anything else, the VR gaming market more than in that situation. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't, well, it is what it is. But with that, unfiltered, unedited, and unrehearsed. Until next time.